Hello, nice to be back again from the Amateur Gardener with another video. Today we have a little bit of winter cleaning, but mostly it is planting my bulbs and it's garlic for the most part. So I am going to be planting garlic bulbs for next year, and this year we had a very nice harvest, and I still have garlic from the season, and I think it'll last me for at least another 3-4 months. The garlic that I'm planting today, I plan to harvest in like summer of 2025. I got 5 different varieties. 3 of those varieties have worked for me in the past, which is why I got them, and a couple of new ones. And I have around, I didn't count exact numbers, but somewhere between 150 to 170 individual garlic bulbs. I have already separated the big cloves from the big ones from the small ones. So small ones will just eat them, and the big ones we will be planting them. Okay, let me take you around. So, like for instance, this is one of my varieties. It is early Italian, and as you can see, I've already separated the big ones. And then this one is Cuban purple. This is a new one. I haven't tried this in the past. This one is, this one is Spanish Beniti. I haven't tried this one in the past as well, so this is a new one for me. And this one is Spanish Roja. I did try this last year, and this one is awesome. This one is already starting to plant out, and the other one is, I think, late Italian, and this one I have tried in the past, like last year, and it did really well for me. So the timing to plant garlic is usually in the fall, so for like November for people like us in zone 9. Last year I planted it, of course, earlier, but this year I am late. It's already a little bit late for the season, and we've already started to get like a little bit of cold snaps. Not freezes yet, but just cold snaps, and hopefully they'll be okay. It's just that I didn't have time to get to it. And then I have some hyacinths that I will plant, and these are, what is it called? Something I just picked up from Cornelius. I think it's pink pearl, and I have another color. It's a little darker pink. It says Jan Rose. Whatever. I'll plant these, and I have some blues and pinks and purples mixed in there. So I'll add to them. Hopefully they come up. I don't know about us because we don't get that cold, so some of them may not come up, or a lot of them may not come up. And then I also have a few irises that I need to plug in. And let me show you this. I think they're in the greenhouse. Yeah, it's here. These are the 4 ones. It's like 2 of the mega bugs and 2 of orange king. Whatever it is, I'll plant them. And these are the ones I got from Costco, I think weeks earlier, at least over a month earlier at least. They've been sitting in the greenhouse for a long time, so I'll just plant them. The bulbs are kind of easy to plant, but today we have to prep the bed a little bit. I don't know, I'm going to plant them in raised beds. That's what I did last year, but the soil just keeps sinking and somewhere it vanishes, so I have to replenish most of the beds with additional soil this year. Okay, so let's take you along. Oh, by the way, this coleus refuses to die, so I might actually just pull it out. Oh, another thing that I plan to do today would be planting some of my, potting up some of my veggies, which is like eggplants and peppers in these pots, and I'm going to overwinter them. I did that last year, and the ones that I overwintered did the best. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take you along for parts of it. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so here we go. What I'm doing right now is some of the eggplant plants that are still a little tiny and didn't grow that well. These are all grown from seeds, by the way. So I am going to, like, will be one of them. It has a flower. I'm going to just ignore it. And there's another one there. These are small ones. I'm going to put them in pots like this one I've already done. And these are the ones I'm going to overwinter. And this is what I did exactly last year, and they were the most fruit bearing ones. I can show you, it's already cold and everything is winding down, but I can show you how huge these overwintered plants grew. So this is one of my eggplants. It's falling all over the place. You can see that even in the cold it is bearing quite a bit of fruit. Like there is another one there. So this is, I believe, 2 plants here, and this is all 2 plants, and we had so many eggplants from these 2 plants. And there are some that I planted from seeds. They couldn't catch up, but this is what I plan to do next year as well. It was just a trial and error thing. They were looking pretty good at the end of the year last year, which is why I took them in. These are my cucumber bushes. They kind of got burnt. They have a few isolated cucumbers still. I'm just going to pick them up and we're going to get rid of this bush. Kind of got burnt, and cucumbers are all tropical plants. They don't do well even if you get to, like, you know, in the 30s. So I'm going to get rid of this, clean up this area, and then whatever I think will do better next year, I'm going to salvage it and put it in my greenhouse. My tomatoes, let me show you, are doing awesome. So I cut them back, like literally took a hedge trimmer and cut them, and you can see that these are all cherry tomatoes and they are like full of. I'm going to still leave them because I want to harvest these tomatoes. And then I did the same thing for some of the larger tomatoes, and they have also started fruiting. So I can show you some there. So I want to leave this on. I don't need the space right away, yeah, they're still fruiting, so I'm going to leave them on. I want to get this harvest, and then what I'll do is I am going to pull these out, but not today. Okay, so here I wanted to show you, this is a 4x6 bed. No, I think it's a 3x6 bed, but here I am planting garlic, and I planted, I think, about like 110 or 120. I didn't count, but as you can see, garlic requires kind of like shallow planting. So like this one, you can see it's already like sprouting, and what I did was I made like a 2-inch deep hole, and I'm covering it up with soil. So this bed has been planted, and all I'm doing now is covering it up with soil. I've turned the sprinklers off. We get good enough rain over the winter, so it will not need supplemental watering. But if I do need watering and it gets really dry, then I have the option of turning on the sprinklers. Right now I have the sprinklers on for the rest of the yard, but this bed, I have valves on every bed. I can show it to you in a little bit, and the valves are actually turned off. Okay, so this one is done, and the next bed that I'm going to plant is this one. So this is the other bed that I'm going to plant. Let me get my little seeds. So far I have planted Spanish Roja, and I think it was Spanish Benite. I think that's how they pronounce it. I'm not the best at pronouncing Spanish names, though at work I do deal with a significant Spanish speaking population, but I try. Anyway, here is the bed that I'm going to plant, and as you can see, I have the drip going, but it is turned off. Okay, so I'm going to put one variety in here, which is this one. This is late Italian. I'll probably put this one here. I really like this variety. I think I have like 40 of them. As you can see, this is what I do. The late Italian is actually one of my favorite varieties and very reliable one for our area. I think I'll harvest it around like July next year. And you'll know it once you see the leaves kind of dying off. You'll know that it's time to harvest. I'm putting 5 on each row. This is a, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. If I find a good enough spot that is like 3 inches apart from the previous one all around, then I'll stick one in there. The point is to get as many in a certain space as will what will not impact your production. So I'm going to do one here, put another one here. Try to keep the distance about 3 to 4 inches apart. Okay, so I finished this bed. This one has I think I planted a few extra of the Cuban purple with the this one was late Italian. I started with the late Italian. I had like 2 rows left, so I planted some Cuban purple. Now I'm going over to one of my birdie's beds. It is the bed that I had an awesome harvest of sweet potato this year, and I'm going to plant garlic there now. I try to rotate the crops as far as I can. Oh, this one I'll have to put in the drip. So drip is already there. I just need to clip it. So it's here. You know what, let me do it without the camera. It's sometimes easy to do it that way, and then I'll take you a walkthrough. Okay, so finally wrapping up. So the third set of garlic are in this bed. This is a birdie's bed. It's like a 6 by 2 feet bed. So I have I think early Italian and some of the, what is it called, Cuban purple Here this bed is empty. I'm planning to plant, I prepped it already. I plan to plant like onions in here. We'll see. This bed, emptied it out except for this sole dying eggplant. That is going to go. It was a little too hard. I need some extra muscle power to get it out of this bed. But I haven't prepped this bed. I will, but not now. These are the two beds that I have garlic in. So here's one. You can see the shiny black soil, and then this one as well. I might put a little bit of extra soil here. This is next to my eggplant bed, which looks the most lush plant here right now. It's huge. Like, there are two eggplants in here, and they are about 10 feet each way, all across, and wide. Probably more if you look at it diagonally. It's probably more if you look at it like from the back. But anyway, and then this trellis has all been cleaned up except for my roses. Let me show you. This one is the Quicksilver. It's an arbor rose. It's a Cordes rose. And then this one, I don't have flowers right now, but it is that's another cucumber, a branch that I missed. This is Zephyrin drone. This one is a thornless rose, which I love. I don't have flowers now. And this one is a very thorny rose. You can see here are the huge thorns, but I love the flowers. It's like purple clustery flowers. There's another set. My tomatoes have started to produce again, so I'm leaving them still. What else? This is a pointed gourd that barely started producing this year, but they actually survived the winter, so I'm just going to come here and mulch that a bed, and it's going to be fine. Okay, looks somewhat cleaned up, still messy. I'm going to leave most of the leaves here. They'll just act as mulch. This is my okra bed that I have to clean up. It's the end of the season. I have had so much okra from this, I can live without okra for the next 6 months. Okay. Hopefully you liked my video. If you did, do hit a like and do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully sometime next week. Bye bye.